And we're floating in a sea of red.
Arkansas wins! About 115 billion reasons.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, celebrating more than 15 years of scholarships. Learn more at myarkansasLottery.com. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, largest inventory of Razorback merchandise in the business, and locally owned by a family of Arkansas alums. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
Hit that line, keep on rolling, with the ball right down the field, with a chill. Never feel Arkansas will never yield.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
When they run through that A here 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't need Viagra, but that's my Viagra when they run through the A.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Time to start conference play for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas Game Day is live over ESPN Arkansas. And on the Hit That Line Now app, Derek Ruskin in our ESPN Arkansas studios, and Ty Richardson is live in Oxford, Mississippi on this game day to start conference play in 2025. Hello, Ty.
What's up, Derek? Good to be here, man. It's been a while since we've done one of these pre or post games together. I think honestly the last time might have been 2 years ago, that post game in Oxford with obviously the clip that you and Zach love to play over and over. So it's good. It's good to be back here with you, buddy.
Maybe it'll happen again. Who knows? It doesn't look like you're in the Grove, though, so maybe it won't be. No.
Tommy made fun of me this week. He's like, why are you doing it in the Grove? And here was my actual thought. Like, I wanted to, but you've done this a long time. You've got a lot more radio shows under your belt than me. When you don't have good internet and you can't connect, it does not make for a good show. No. So I didn't want to get yelled at and chastised for taking the priority of sundress season over the actual program itself. But yes, I will be there. I am going to sprint. As soon as this show's over, I'm going to pack up the gear, throw it back in the car, and sprint to our tailgate at the Grove.
Well, you've got a lot of time because, of course, we're here till 3, and then the game isn't until 6 o'clock tonight here on ESPN Arkansas and on ESPN television. So what we're going to do is we're going to obviously talk about this game. We're going to look at some of the other stuff happening right now around college football. You can text us or call us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. We have news off the top here, Ty, and it involves Ole Miss quarterback Austin Simmons, who may not, game time decision, doesn't sound all that confident that he's going to even play today for Ole Miss against the Razorbacks.
Here's my thought, Derek, and I know you have one as well. I think that this is gamesmanship by Lane Kiffin. I don't think that Simmons is going to play today. Anyone that has had, and I'm not 100%, but I watched last week. It looked like an ankle injury. For those that have had those type of injuries, you can play through it. You can hop on it a little bit. I think about Isaiah Thomas in Game 6 I guess it was the 88 finals against the Lakers. But once it sits, once it swells, it is 1,000 times worse than in the moment. You can get through by with adrenaline. I think that Trinidad Chambliss is going to be the one that takes the snaps for Ole Miss tonight. I could be proven wrong. Simmons could trot out there, and you're going to call me an idiot. That's fine. But I think Trinidad Chambliss is going to be the quarterback for Ole Miss later on.
So, and there's another conversation that could be had here because at no point during the week, I believe, was Austin Simmons on the injury report for Ole Miss. So that's a whole other can of worms that you could talk about. And we know certainly Lane Kiffin's past with involving his players feigning injuries during the game, which got the rule changed where now. So, this is all starting to run together here in one way or another here. And I'll be curious if he is indeed out and he wasn't on the report all week, if there's any kind of consequence from the league office on that.
Well, and so to your point, Derek, I read this week that schools get fined anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 if they lie or fabricate or do something on the report. I know he was listed as probable on Wednesday. Okay. As far as last night, I had forgotten that Friday nights come out. He is not on the Friday night injury report, right, which I would think you don't. And maybe it'd be a situation. Maybe this is gamesmanship. Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. This is gamesmanship, and the plan was Austin to play the whole time, and they just kind of wanted to hang it over T. Will and Pittman's head. Hey, having a game plan for two quarterbacks. But it is interesting, like you said, like last night, he is not. The only two guys that are on there is Jalen Brown, or Braxton, I should say. He's questionable, and then Traylon Ray, who is a wide receiver for Ole Miss. That they did list for Arkansas. Devin Bale is probable, and Quincy Rhodes as probable as well. Not seeing David Oakey's name on there, which is a good sign for Arkansas's defensive line.
So as far as the other end of the gamesmanship, and you mentioned Arkansas's defense there, maybe it's too simple to say it this way, but you have either way, you have an inexperienced quarterback. Last year, Tennessee came in here with an inexperienced quarterback, and it was the defensive performance of the year, both in terms of game plan and execution. So maybe it's too simple to say, why don't you just do that again, regardless of who the quarterback is, because they probably haven't seen much of that at any point in their career anyway. So either one that plays, maybe it doesn't change all that much for Arkansas's plan defensively. That was just so odd last year to see them get embarrassed like that, because Jackson Dart, if you remember, the two prior games, he didn't play good against Arkansas. Played awful in 2022 on the road, and then that game in 23, he really didn't play good at home, and then just had the game of his life against the Razorbacks last year. So kind of like you said, Lane Kiffin's kind of had a plug and play, whether it's Corral, Dart. Now it's going to either be Simmons or Chambliss today. Obviously, it would help Arkansas if Simmons was out, but not rooting for injuries. That's just the reality of the situation. They've lost a lot, Derek. Ole Miss has reloaded at least. They do a good job in the transfer portal. But you think about Jordan Watkins, who was on that team last year, is the one that ripped you up for, I think, 246. He's not on the team no more. Trey Harris. You still got Caden Lee, who only has a few catches so far this season, which is kind of surprising because he was thought going to be the alpha. But they've got plenty of weapons. It's just a matter if they're clicking. If Arkansas's defensive line can get pressure. I watched Simmons last week. Kentucky's D-line got some pressure and forced him into 2 interceptions. He's thrown 4. If he suits up tonight, then maybe he can cause some turnovers. Yeah, I looking at the PFF this week. Ole Miss has not played great in the trenches in either of these games, which obviously would be an advantage for Arkansas. The thing I wonder about, though, is I don't know yet how good Arkansas's secondary is. So if great point, the guy does get cooking, whoever it is, I mean, are they, because we've seen both Alabama A&M and Arkansas State move the ball on these guys. Now, moving the ball isn't scoring, but you figure when the competition goes up in class, maybe they're able to finish some of those drives where they're moving the ball with scores. So a lot to approve there from that standpoint in terms of the Arkansas secondary. Will they be up to the challenge today? Because like you mentioned, they got absolutely torched last week. And then going back to the quarterback thing for a minute, Ty, I mean, I think going in, Arkansas clearly had the advantage at that spot. But now there's no doubt that Taylon Green's the best quarterback on the field, regardless of who plays for Ole Miss. And Derek, I want to, and sometimes I tend to get a little homerish, and I'll admit that. But I wonder for your vantage point, or I feel like that you're closer to the middle than I can be sometimes. If Taylon does win this game tonight, because I do agree there is an advantage for Arkansas, regardless who's suiting up for Ole Miss at that position, does that kind of put him into that like top 5, top 4 type, or is that just Arkansas fans making too much? Because you mentioned like they haven't played anybody these first 2 games. He's put up gaudy stats, as has the defense. But if he does it on the road, they win a ranked team. They haven't won a ranked game on the road since 2020. No. Mississippi State, second week of the season. So again, 2021, 2022, 2023, and all of 2024, no ranked wins. Does that then put him into that kind of elite Nussmeier, Sellers type of category? Is it still kind of wait and see, you think? Well, I mean, you gotta do it over multiple times against ranked opponents. They have 8 teams ranked left on their schedule out of 10 games. So there's going to be ample opportunities here. It's all there, like every year. It's all right there in front of them. They just have to go and the thing that's easy to say but hard to do, go out and win the ball game. It'll definitely, and he's been getting a little bit more attention. I saw he was on SportsCenter this week doing a hit on ESPN. The ESPN night game is still kind of a showpiece, I think. So that's there's a lot of attention on that. Although tonight there's a lot of attention on a lot of games because you got Florida LSU at 6:30, you got Notre Dame and Texas A&M at 6:30. You'll be playing against the wind down of what is expected to be an interesting USF and Miami game on of all places, the CW. So, but yeah, I mean, if he plays well, I mean, yeah, he's going to keep getting attention. But it all runs together. The offensive line's got to do their job. I still have some questions about those guys. The receivers, this is a step up in competition. These aren't Sunbelt corners that they'll be facing today. These are not, SWAC corners that they'll be facing. So how are those guys able to adjust to the speed of the game going up a little bit faster today? It's going to be interesting.
And how about the games you just listed out? How about the slate in front of us, man? I mean, even just to start this morning, just having some games. I know you're in the midst of you're obviously closely monitoring a few games on the schedule today.
Yes, sir.
That's which is always fun. It makes the college football that much more entertaining. But really, we got a really good week 3, Derek. I was a little surprised that the Knoxville game wasn't at night, being that it's Georgia and Tennessee. It's kind of odd. I know maybe it's the Notre Dame brand that they don't want to go up against, but you're fortunate if you're the Razorbacks getting to be in that primetime game. It's just you wish it was at home rather than on the road. So this is a chance for Arkansas to obviously undo some wrongdoings from last year where they just got clobbered. And again, Sam Pittman's never won here as a head coach. You could cross that off the checklist as well.
I was going into this season, I thought last week was the classic look-ahead trap game situation. Arkansas doesn't want to go to Little Rock.
I do too.
They certainly don't want to play Arkansas State, and they want Ole Miss. And in fact, I think Carmona did an interview where before the season where he spoke specifically about Ole Miss. So that led me to believe, oh boy, well, this is a look-ahead deal. But
yep.
I think you have to give Sam Pittman and these guys a lot of credit for being completely focused on what they had to do last week with Arkansas State. They didn't have, I mean, you're never going to have a perfect game, but they didn't look unfocused at any point in that game. They looked like they were ready from the kick to take care of business against A-State. Did a couple of things not go their way? Sure, but that's the way the game goes. But I didn't think they looked unfocused at any point last week, which is what I was expecting, so I think they deserve credit for that.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree because in some of those games in the past, while they've won, I know they've suffered some non-conference losses, but like that second, not necessarily the FCS opponent, but that's kind of second tier, the second worst game on your schedule, they haven't necessarily blasted them like they did last week. Yeah. And being where that game fell in the schedule, I've wholeheartedly felt like you did. Yet they executed. Now, it's all for naught, Derek, as you know, if they don't win this game today, it doesn't matter how much you took care of business against Alabama A&M and also Arkansas State. And if they lose today, it's not the end of the world either. But you also, again, there's so much riding on this game. And what stands out to me is kind of what you brought up. Like Carmona Jr. went on the record about this on his own podcast. Other players have been outspoken about this game. And I know there's a lot of roster turnover, but of any game on this schedule, I would guess the players I would say that this is the one that they maybe want more than anyone else on their schedule based on what happened last year and based on the 3 players that left.
Well, and it's also a spot, and we can get into this when we come back here from our first break here on Arkansas Gameday on ESPN Arkansas. This is a spot where actually Sam Pittman's done pretty well throughout his time at Arkansas. So we'll talk about that. We're just getting started here for the next couple of hours here on ESPN Arkansas. Ty Richardson is in Oxford. I'm Derek Ruskin in our studio, and this is Arkansas Game Day presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Much more to talk about. Stay where you are.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs!
Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range. Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks.
This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started. Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Buy a New Holland PowerStar tractor from WT Equipment and you'll roll out the door with big savings and big power and utility. Choose 0% financing for 60 months or cashback offers on one of these proven 65 to 100 PTO horsepower utility tractors. From fields to barnyard, you won't find a more versatile or powerful workhorse. Stop by WT Equipment for all the details on these ready-to-roll offers on PowerStar tractors or visit us online at WTEquip.com.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Sterling Bank is your community bank. Sterling Bank values their role in Northwest Arkansas and works hard to make our community stronger each day. They're invested in relationships that go beyond banking. They're your friends and neighbors, and know that when we support each other, the whole community wins. If you're looking for a bank that offers top-notch customer service and a complete menu of products that make your banking experience pleasant and productive, visit them in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville. Sterling Bank, local friendly banking made to fit you. Member FDIC.
At Mach 1, being in the financial services sector, to me, integrity is, could be considered one of the most valuable, integral parts of who we are, because in this business, trust is everything.
Find an advisor who's invested in you at Mach1FG.com. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. A copy of Mach 1's current written disclosure brochure is available through the SEC website and at disclosures.mach1fg.com.
Just like maintenance on your car, your HVAC system requires professional upkeep to do its job correctly. When it comes to comfort, trust the team that treats you like family. Varsity Zone HVAC is your local expert heating and cooling team, serving Northwest Arkansas with professional installation, maintenance, and repair for homes and businesses. They are proud to be family-owned and customer-focused. Call 479-437-6096 or visit varsityzone.com to schedule your appointment today.
It's time to flip for your burgers. Come to any JJ's Grill location during any primetime NFL game on Monday and Thursday night, or Sundays at JJ's Bella Vista. Order a burger with fries or chips, and when you're done, we'll flip you for it. That's right, a manager will come flip a coin with you. You call it right, and your burger is free. Football, burgers, and the thrill of the flip, because the NFL is just better at JJ's.
On the road to the game or anywhere life takes you, accidents don't take a timeout. From fender benders to hail damage, you need a repair team you can trust. Courtney Hollingsworth Auto Body has been family-owned for over 40 years and proudly holds an iCar Gold Class certification, ranking them in the top 15% of collision repair shops nationwide. From dents and dings to hail damage repair, their expert technicians will have your car looking like new. Schedule your estimate today. Go to CourtneyHollingsworth.com.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Kelly Earwood in Rogers and Derek Wardlow in Rogers.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green, though, going to keep it on the option right side. He's in the clear across midfield. They've got to catch him, and they can't do it.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
We're calling plays that seem to be scoring, but those are the good kind. I love those a lot.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
We are back here on Arkansas Game Day. Razorbacks and Ole Miss coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. And you can hear it, of course, right here on ESPN Arkansas and on the Hit That Line Now app, which is brought to you by Taco Bell. We've got Ty Richardson in Oxford, Mississippi. I'm Derek Ruskin here in our studio. You can text us or call us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963 as we continue to go through things here. Again, we were talking about Austin Simmons and the possibility he may not play. This is a spot where this is from ESPN research, Ty, and we mentioned Pittman kind of for the last couple of years, Pittman's been pretty good on the road, and at home he's not been as good. In road games since the start of last season, Arkansas is 7-1 against the spread.
Oh, I hammered. Game was 9.5 on Monday.
Yeah, I know.
Derek, I put 70 on it. Like I saw that. I was like, there's no way. I immediately put money on that. 9.5.
And under Pittman, against the number, they're 22-11-1 as an underdog. So, yeah, this is a spot at 15-5-1 on the road under Pittman against the spread. So, yeah, this seemed like an easy play all week long. I'm with you now. And I hope you got it in because I don't know. Right now, the Bet Saracen app, they may have removed the spread betting right now because of all of this misinformation on the quarterback situation. So I hope you got it before today, honestly.
Yeah. Listen, I'd like to win more football games. You would too. I think we all would. But you can't knock Sam Pittman for his record against the spread. I've got a buddy that has bet on Arkansas, I think, since 2020 when Pittman's came in. And Sam Pittman against the spread, and you referenced some of the road games, but I want to say it's like close to 60%, which for bettors, that's like insanely good.
Yeah.
So it's it's pretty remarkable. These games that, especially, let's just look at the games in Oxford, Derek. 2 years ago, they lost by 7. Arkansas wasn't any good that year. KJ threw 2 picks, and you still almost won that game. And then 4 years ago, it was the best game in college football. And they lost by 1 to Matt Corral and company, I think 52-51. So not only has he been good on the road in terms of against the spread, but they've come up close here twice, and we'll see if for the third time they can finally get it done as him as head coach.
This game, I mean, even Chad Morris played Ole Miss close at one time in War Memorial Stadium. So yeah, this has always been or at least in the last decade or so, this has always been a game that's been pretty competitive. Last year, notwithstanding.
Derek, I haven't asked you this yet. Where do you stand on Arkansas 3 permanent opponents? You're going to get Missouri. I mean, do you want Ole Miss? You're kind of in that mid, like you're not 60 plus. You're not my age. You're kind of in that kind of middle-aged man type of thing. Where do you stand with Arkansas's 2 other permanent opponents?
So they only get 3. Is that the deal? Well, you got to stick with Missouri. Because of the trophy, obviously, such a meaningful rivalry to people. LSU again, trophy, and third maybe you go Texas. I think. When Greg Sankey, every time he mentions rivalries, he always throws Arkansas and Texas in there. And I don't think that's an accident. I think that's one that they think that they want to
it's intentional.
Keep going. Yeah, I think it because it's one of the few ones that they have that is kind of, well, it's new to them. It's not new, but it's new to them. That does go back a long ways. You know, you've got all those games from the 60s that people of a certain age remember, and obviously on through the decades with the Southwest Conference. And, I mean, you still get Texas OU. That's been going on forever. That's not new. It's new to the SEC, but, you know, it's not a rekindling or anything like that. I think they would keep that. I've always said, though, in this era, you judge yourself against the M's. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Missouri. That's your neighborhood that, you know, you're recruiting against, you know, the proximity, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so if you win 2 out of those 3 or 3 out of those 3, then you know, it's probably going to be a pretty good year. And so this is the first opportunity for that. They've got the 2 other M's in their building when you talk about Mississippi State and Missouri this year. So I've always thought, you know, at least in this current configuration, I've thought you kind of judge yourself on the M's. And, you know, when they struggle against those schools, it tends to be a longer season, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It is pretty wild how dead even this series is lately. 5-5 in the last 10. Mentioned a couple close ones in Oxford. Outside of really last year's game was the anomaly. And Ole Miss, I think, has that same vantage point, Derek. And now they don't play Missouri every year, but when they look at Mississippi State and they look at Arkansas, I don't know if they necessarily – I know LSU is a huge rival. The Magnolia Bowl, it's a huge rival for them. I don't know if they necessarily feel like they have to beat LSU every – they want to, but they don't necessarily have to. I think that same vantage point is for Ole Miss. I am curious, though, when they do announce that, what that will end up being for Arkansas. The deal that I always say with the SEC rivals for the Razorbacks is you're no one's first or second choice of their favorite rival. Like even Missouri, I think personally, and maybe I could be proven wrong about this, but I think Kansas is one. I think they view Oklahoma as a bigger rival than the Razorbacks. I really do. And that dates back to the Big Eight. Those two schools go at it. Obviously, it's an epic game. It was a really big game back in, I guess, 2007 when Oklahoma smashed them in the Big 12 championship. But you're no one's like first or second dance partner. Like you're having to ask your third girl to prom.
Right.
If you're the Razorbacks, just because they don't have that, like they have rivals. Like this game matters to Ole Miss fans. This game matters to Arkansas fans.
Right.
But Ole Miss fans will tell you they care more about beating LSU and Mississippi State than they do Arkansas. And I don't know if we necessarily have that. Hey, we've got to beat Arkansas and we've got to beat so and so. You don't have that direct dance partner.
So do you think? Because I've been pretty vocal about this. I think the only reason people don't like the Missouri game here is because they don't win it. Do you think if they would win more often, that would get a little bit? I mean, if you can't get into a rivalry where a guy from your state goes up there and not only beats you all the time, but talks about it all the time, then, I mean, what more do you want for a rivalry than that? I mean, that's everything you could ask for right there. And yet still, people roll their eyes at that game. And I think it's because they don't win it enough.
I think that's true. I also think if you go back to 1992 when Arkansas comes in the league and you're playing LSU every year, LSU fans they're still LSU fans that don't respect Arkansas, even though the Razorbacks have got them in some really big time epic college football games. And so it feels similar in that regard. Missouri still doesn't feel like an SEC institution, not just based on geography, but student body, fan base, how they go about games. I mean, I would say it's one of the least intimidating. I've seen more fans in Nashville at times and Vanderbilt's kind of on the rise. And maybe you can make a case for that, but I think the winning aspect's important, Derek. You beat them twice since they joined the SEC, 2015 and 2021. But to your point about Eli loves stroking the flames on this and stoking, and you got to respect that. Like this is a guy that comes in, talks his and then beats you. He is, as I told Tommy on What's Your Beef Wednesday, it's driving me insane. The more I listen to him, the more I like him. I didn't shake his hand at SEC Media Days. If he walked in right now, I wouldn't shake his hand because he has tormented me since he arrived on that campus for the most part. I think that this rivalry has a chance to grow, but Arkansas is going to start winning some games like you're talking about.
Yeah, I think you can't be dismissive and erudite about it when you never win. You got to win a few of these, and they'll get a chance obviously later this year. But the focus, of course, is on Ole Miss tonight at Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
Ooh.
They're in Oxford, 6:00 or thereabouts when this thing is supposed to get underway. And, of course, we'll have it here on the radio, and ESPN will have your television. We're going to take a look at some of the other games going on right now in college football, including a SEC team that may be back now, maybe. We'll talk about that coming up here. It is Arkansas Game Day presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery on ESPN Arkansas.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs! Buy a New Holland PowerStar tractor from WT Equipment and you'll roll out the door with big savings and big power and utility. Choose 0% financing for 60 months or cashback offers on one of these proven 65 to 100 PTO horsepower utility tractors. From fields to barnyard, you won't find a more versatile or powerful workhorse. Stop by WT Equipment for all the details on these ready-to-roll offers on PowerStar tractors or visit us online at WTEquip.com.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eye. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
It's time for the end of summer clearance at Rath Mitsubishi. Right now, get a grand your way when you drive away in the road-ready certified pre-owned car of your choice. Inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. Get an extra discount, extra for your trade, or buy that special someone a gift to make up for not talking to them about the new truck in the driveway. we got your back. $1,000 to use however you like. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Wrath. Wrath Mitsubishi. Don Tyson at 71B Springdale. WrathMitsubishi.com.
It's the final splash sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Your last chance to make a splash this summer. Make waves with big savings on a 15 by 30 semi-in-ground pool for just $19,999. For the ultimate backyard upgrade, buy an AquaCrete in-ground pool and get a free hot tub or sauna. Need something smaller? Select plunge pools are only $39,995. But hurry, these deals won't last long. The final splash sale happening now at Burton Pools and Spas. Water for a better life.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $1 billion. So, what would you do if you won?
Buy a baseball team. Ooh, I would definitely buy my mom a Tesla so that she can drive cool, look cool.
If I won a jackpot, I'll start a cooking school for the youth in the city. Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Powerball jackpot of more than $1 billion. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Does it feel like someone stabbing a knife into your heel, or does your lower back pain get worse as the day goes on? The Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Ann.
Every time I stood up, pain just shot up my leg. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet store. I went to them after my doctor diagnosed me with plantar fasciitis. And now, thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm 100% pain-free.
Wouldn't it be nice to get back to doing what you love, like Patrick?
I was in constant pain. Somehow my fiance and I found our way into the Good Feet store. Put my foot on the arch support system. I put them in my shoes, walked out of the store. All the pain was gone. My back, my knees, my ankles. Thank you. Thank you, everybody at the Good Feet store. Gave me my active life back.
Come in and get your free personalized fitting at the Good Feet store. In Fayetteville, we're across from Walmart on Mall Avenue. And in Rogers, we're across from Top Golf.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
We all try to prepare for life's what-ifs, but when those uncertainties become a reality, you need someone you can count on. Kevin Crone, your local farmer's agent, is here to help guide you through it all. The coverage for your business, call farmer's agent Kevin Crone today at 479-846-0836.
We are farmers.
Underwritten by farmers. Truck or fire insurance, exchanges, or affiliate products not available in every state.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green, though, going to keep it on the option right side. He's in the clear across midfield. They've got to catch him, and they can't do it.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
We're calling plays that seem to be scoring, but those are the good kinds. I love those a lot.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
We're back here on ESPN Arkansas, here on Arkansas Game Day. Razorbacks and Ole Miss Rebels. Obviously, our focus as they get ready for their game coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. What's the status with Austin Simmons, all of that sort of stuff, and we will return to all of that here momentarily. But this is a good time to take a look around the SEC at the games that are happening right now. Ty, is Alabama back? They're up 38-7 at home over Wisconsin in the fourth quarter down there in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I sure thought they'd crushed. Luke Fickell, I don't know how much longer he's going to last in Madison. But, let's see what Ty Simpson can do in 2 weeks when they go to Athens, Georgia. Yep. That's the game that all Alabama fans and Georgia fans have circled on their schedule. I know Georgia's got Tennessee here in about an hour or so, but I don't know, man. I'm just not sold on Alabama this year. I picked LSU to win the whole thing. I think I had Alabama at 9-3, and I tend to think they're going to be that.
All right, so that is a blowout right now for the Crimson Tide at home over Wisconsin. I wonder if Kalen DeBoer is going to get as mad as Nick Saban did when all the Greek life people leave early on a blowout game in Tuscaloosa. I don't know.
Yeah, that is that it was quite entertaining. Alabama fans have just been so spoiled these last few years, and now it's like anytime they lose, they think their world is coming to a crumbling end. And it's like, you know what Arkansas fans would give to have a 9-3 type of season?
Yeah.
I mean, there would be kidneys and livers and children that they would give up to see this football team win 9 regular season games, which you haven't done, I guess, since 2011.
All right, so nothing really competitive from the SEC right now. Third quarter, Oklahoma's up at Philadelphia, and they're beating Temple 35-3. Mateer's got a touchdown pass. He's thrown for 282 yards so far in this one.
Kind of a dog, Derek. He might be the Heisman Trophy winner. That Texas-Oklahoma game in Dallas here in a few weeks with him and Arch is going to be epic. That kid, Venables just is like, I got the defense, and he brought in the Washington State offensive coordinator, whose name I'm blanking on. It's like you and Mateer handle the offense, and so far it's worked. We'll see if it works here in a couple weeks against the Longhorns. I guess they had Auburn and Norman, I think, next week, so I think that might be a better game than maybe I initially anticipated before the season.
A lot of intrigue there with that one coming up here. Auburn's playing right now, the 24th ranked Tigers in front of South Alabama. They're about to start the second half, and Auburn's leading 28-9. In that one. And then another SEC game. They're about to go to half in Columbia. And Missouri leads Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. Missouri's up 35-10 in that one. So those are the four games around the league that are going on right now. Top 25 action. Oregon in front of Northwestern 31-0. The closest game right now, it looks like, is down on Techwood Drive in Atlanta. The Georgia Tech's up trailing 14-13. To Clemson. They are about to end the third quarter there in Atlanta. Georgia Tech's got the ball deep in their own territory.
Come on, Haynes Keene. Come on, Georgia Tech. We need the Yellow Jackets to win that one. That's a good football team. Haynes Keene has been around college football, it seems like a decade. I know he's kind of swapped around a little bit teams, but that they went toe-to-toe with the Bulldogs last year in that epic
yes, they did.
6 overtime game, 5 overtime game, whatever it was. And I hope they pull it out against the Tigers today. I like Georgia Tech. I enjoy watching them.
Just keep it close, Georgia Tech. That's all we need. Keep it close. That's all we need. Win, cool.
That's a man with something on the line.
If you want to win, that's cool too, but just keep it close, Georgia Tech.
That's how I feel about it. I mean, I have Arkansas at 9.5. Obviously, I'll be elated if they win tonight, but as long as they don't lose by 10. If they lose by 10, I will probably not make it back to Arkansas because I'll be in the Mississippi River.
So that's the only competitive game right now around the country. Michigan's blowing out Central Michigan 56-3, and we gave you all the other scores from top 25 games that are going on right now. So Oregon, no trouble after they absolutely hammered Oklahoma State last week. They go on the road to Evanston in their kind of temporary stadium situation. No problem for the Ducks in the fourth quarter. And Clemson is interesting now as they go to the fourth quarter in a 1-point game at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, obviously it's a big deal when Clemson comes to town. They've got the whiteout going on there, Ty, at the stadium, at Bobby Dodd Stadium there in Atlanta. So, it's a rowdy atmosphere that Clemson's going into there. And so far, Cade Klubnik has done okay, 185 yards. He's got a touchdown pass today. But
is he the most overrated quarterback in college football? Because I think about when the marquee big-time games he plays in, like LSU earlier this year, Georgia last year, and I just don't think he ever shows up in a big marquee matchup against a non-ACC opponent. Am I wrong on that to say?
Well, we have a thing around here we call the Hall of Very Good. I think you could put Cade Klubnik in the Hall of Very Good. He's not great. He's not a Hall of Fame caliber player in college football. He's the Hall of Very Good. He can get you from A to B a lot of the time, but you're right. Some of these performances, when the spotlight's really on, you need more from him. You need more from him in a rivalry game against South Carolina or against LSU or, maybe on the road today against Georgia Tech. He's only 12 out of 22 passing, which is not, just tearing it up from a completion percentage standpoint. So, yeah, I mean, he's fine. It's interesting to me, the stubbornness of Dabo Swinney, because everybody is going out. If they need a quarterback, go get one. And we've seen teams that are having success. I mean, Miami went out and got a quarterback. We've seen obviously Oklahoma went and got Mateer. This is the kind of standard operating procedure now. You need one, you go get one. Arkansas went and got Taylor Green a couple years ago from Boise State. But he's not doing that. He's been loyal to this guy. I'm not sure why. And, it's been – the results have been, fairly pedestrian sometimes.
Well, just think about like Heisman Trophy winners recently. The Baker Mayfields, the Kyler Murrays, the Joe Burrows. You've got a lot of guys recently. And and there's probably a handful of others. Those are just kind of the ones that come to mind. But you've had a lot of transfer, and you mentioned the quarterbacks. Like Garrett Nussmeier's the outlier. I mean, he's been at LSU. I think I know he was there in 2021 when Arkansas beat him, thanks to Cam Little kicking that game-winning field goal. But really, it's more about like a guy sticks around 1 or 2 years, kind of like Talon did, and now winds up in Fayetteville. And that's definitely the norm in college football. But Dabo just, for the most part, refuses to entertain and utilize the transfer portal like so many other coaches have.
Some games coming up here, in an hour or so. You mentioned Georgia and Tennessee in Knoxville. That's a big one on ABC. On ESPN, in front of the Arkansas game, backyard brawl, Pitt and West Virginia from Morgantown. If you don't know anything about this, these two always put on a show. This is one of the great rivalries in college football that doesn't get any attention, Ty. And I'm happy that they are signed up to do this through 2036. They announced that earlier this week because, they're not conference foes. It's real easy to just move on and forget about it. But they know it's important both to the fan bases and I think to the sport at large. It's just a fun game to watch. I mean, last year I think they played on a Thursday night, and they had a little bit of a standalone deal, and it was an entertaining game to watch. I enjoy the backyard brawl, and hopefully it doesn't bleed over too long past 6 o'clock tonight for our purposes.
Yeah, it's just cool. Rich Rod, baby, back in Morgantown.
Yep.
This is where actually my cousin went to school, and my uncle told me that West Virginia is the craziest drinking school he's ever seen, and I think that's pretty funny since considering he's been to some other SEC institutions. But yeah, the Eat Bleep Pit. This is something like you're talking about. Not necessarily our audience is locked in on, but if you watch it, it's intense. Like these schools hate each other, and like you said, they're not too far from one another. So it is cool when you see all these changes in college football and these programs that have played each other for decades upon decades discontinued. The one close to our neck of the woods is obviously Bedlam, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. That's not good for college football. Like, it's not good for either fan base. These long-standing rivalries and traditions are important. And maybe that's kind of why Greg Sankey wants Arkansas and Texas to play, if that ends up being the case, because of how long-standing that game has been. I know Arkansas, again, left the Southwest Conference for the SEC, but now Texas is in the league, so maybe that's a kind of a reason to play that game as a permanent opponent moving forward.
College football is all about that one game where if you're the fan of that school in the office or with your friends or whatever, you get to talk about your win all year long.
Yep,
and this is a game. This is a game like that. Pitt, West Virginia. The biggest one, obviously, I think in our region is Auburn, Alabama. That is a 365-day-a-year deal, and whoever wins on that November day, the whole year is around it. And if you lose, you're miserable for the whole year. That's what the whole sport is about. And too many times it's getting lost in the name of the almighty dollar. But good on Pitt and West Virginia for keeping the thing going and keeping it home and home, so the home fans can get to see it in Pittsburgh and in Morgantown.
Huzzah! That would be Derek. I don't know. I know you love just kind of sitting around and watching college football, but that would be a fun game to attend, just as a casual college football observer to fly to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and watch that game there. Man, I don't know how you get to Morgantown via X&A. That would be. There's a couple connected flights, but maybe you make your way there at some point.
There's some car riding involved in that. There's some driving in that for sure. All right, so we'll keep an eye on the scores. We'll do another update here in the next hour or so. We'll get back to our game, Arkansas and Ole Miss, coming up after the break. Stay with us here. It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs! This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt. And we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
jerseys? Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter and Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based brands.
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Football season is here, and just like the Hogs, your home comfort system needs to bring its A game. Armor Heating and Air is here to keep you comfortable all season long. From summer heat waves to chilly fall nights, their all-star team is ready to tackle any HVAC challenge. Whether it's a quick tune-up, emergency repair, or a brand new system. Call 479-372-4134 or visit armorheatingandair.com today. Armor Heating and Air. Stay cool, stay warm, and go Hogs.
To win a free $12,000 trip to Disney? Join us for Buffington's Luxury Home Tour September 13th through the 21st. Tour beautiful homes, grab a passport, and enter to win one of 3 incredible trips, including Disney, a Branson getaway at the Ozarker Hotel with tickets to Silver Dollar City, and a local staycation. Plus, on Saturday the 13th and 20th, enjoy free food trucks, coffee, and treats at every location while you enter to win. Details at BuffingtonHomesAR.com. Don't miss out.
Hey, Razorback fans, the ESPN Fan Experience is now open at the Mall Avenue location in Fayetteville. Stop by the pop-up experience and check out exclusive Razorback memorabilia. Get your photo taken behind the iconic Sports Center desk. It's all happening at the Walmart, 3919 Mall Avenue in Fayetteville. Open noon to 8, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's the ESPN Fan Experience happening throughout the month of September.
Rally House, shop every team in town. Come on, it's time to go.
Rally House is the place for Hog fans to shop the most outrageous selection of Razorback merchandise. From game day gear to perfect gifts, Rally House locations carry thousands of styles for you to shop today. They have 2 locations in Fayetteville, as well as locations in Fort Smith, Rogers, and Conway, and are always available for you to shop the Razorbacks online at rallyhouse.com.
You'll find the happiest of happy hours at Cassano's Chicago-style pizza. Monday through Friday from 3 to 7. $1 off drafts, wine, and well drinks. And don't miss Cassano's happiest hour from 5 to 6 with $1.50 short domestics and $3 tall domestics. Plus, enjoy $15 domestic buckets all day, every day. It's the perfect spot to catch all your favorite teams on the big screens. Or let Cassano's cater your next tailgate or event. Go to Cassano'sPizza.com and find your nearest location. Cassano's Chicago-style pizza, where every hour feels like the happiest hour.
Hey, Arkansas fans, tired of cooking, cleaning, yard work, home maintenance? Move to Pinnacle Grove Senior Living, where you'll have all of the fun, none of the chores. Pinnacle Grove's transitional senior living, offering independent living, assisted living, memory care, so residents can find the right fit for their needs. Located at 5520 West Northgate Road in Rogers. Contact Scott or Elena at 479-662-8183 for a Pinnacle Groves tour today.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call my friend, J.T. Finley, at 479-521-4220.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family, too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green, though, going to keep it on the option right side. He's in the clear across midfield. They've got to catch him, and they can't do it.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
We're calling plays that seem to be scoring, but those are the good kind. I love those a lot.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
A quick update. Georgia Tech has scored a touchdown. They get the 2-point conversion. Georgia Tech's up 21-14 on number 12 Clemson. Early fourth quarter in downtown Atlanta. We'll keep you.
Let's go.
We'll keep you posted until we get off the air at 3:00 here. Derek Ruskin, Tyre Richardson in Oxford here on Arkansas Game Day. So that's the best
Georgia
game.
Tech radio network.
That's right. Yes, on the Georgia Tech radio network. That's the best game going right now. So we'll keep you up to date on that if you can't get near a screen for whatever reason. That's what
Derek,
we're here for.
You want to hear something funny?
Yes.
So I walked in. I've drank like 2 or 3 cups of water to make up for the lack of fluids or the correct fluids I drank last night. But I walk into the restroom here, which is next to the suites. The suites are kind of adjacent to the press box, and they've got the Grove Collective like QR code like all over the urinals and on the front of the bathroom and stuff. And again, Arkansas obviously has not had success with Arkansas Edge relative to a lot of other SEC programs, but Keith Carter, who's the AD here, is from Perryville, Arkansas. They've done a really good job, and I just kind of got a chuckle out of that, seeing the Grove Collective QR code kind of all over the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not on the back of every seat in Bud Walton Arena, or constantly. You know how they like on college campuses? I think they still do this. You have like they'll have like something going on. They'll have a big like sidewalk chalk, poster on the sidewalk for it. Some kind of thing going on. Why don't they do that with the Collective? Put the code down there on the sidewalk, anywhere, just wherever, all over the place.
That's a good question. Now there's like the element of, well, are those going to exist? Are they still going to exist? Or are they not going to exist? There's just a lot of unknowns, I think.
But they exist now. Like live in the now. Don't worry about what's going to happen or be woe is me. Why can't we go back to the old days? Like you're where you are now. So try and make the most of it now. No, they've done a terrible job of promoting the Collective at Arkansas. Terrible.
Well, I think so. I think my stance on this is they should have, like, Hunter obviously has his opinions about it. He's been vocal about it. And I think as an athletics director, some things it's hard because there's a million things you have to deal with, but some things you can have an opinion about, but you maybe need to say it privately.
Right.
I mean, I think in the case of that, I think he was so public about it, and then you saw the lack of success with it. That kind of parlayed together is one of the reasons, and probably one of the many reasons that they've had to change the name. They've had multiple different directors. It just has not been a successful venture, and it's like the chicken or the egg concept. It's like, okay, well, you've got to convince people to spend money so you can have a good football team, but most people won't spend money until they see a really good football team, which you've only had kind of one of those in Sam Pittman's tenure in 2021. So it's just it's always that back and forth.
The guy who's handled this really well is Lane Kiffin, because every time Lane Kiffin talks about these types of issues, he's like, look, I don't like the way it is, but this is where we are. So you have to, be in the parameters of where you are. You cannot like the portal. You cannot like two portal windows. You cannot like all the NIL stuff, but that's where you are. So what your opinion is doesn't really matter when you are, in charge. It's like doing a sports talk show and talking about who you voted for. Well, no one really cares who you voted for. They want to know if you know what you're talking about in terms of the matchups, in terms of the games, in terms of being compelling. So in essence, he's talked about who he's voted for. He's turned off half the audience, and he's made it really difficult on a first-time head coach in Sam Pittman to have to navigate all this stuff. And maybe that's why he's had so much grace with Sam, because he knows that he's made it really difficult for him to succeed with some of his opinions and the way that they've managed the NIL stuff to this point. You know what I mean?
I always take the stance on that side of things, Derek, similar to what Michael Jordan used to say with Republicans buy sneakers too. I always say Democrats listen to sports radio too. So I feel like you alienate your audience when you talk politics one way or another. I think to your point, I think also like one of the reasons that Hunter didn't necessarily do that or say about Sam, like Sam, I think has the recruiting issues with the budget and doesn't have a great recruiting staff better than most SEC teams. And he's probably not as vocal about it because he feels like he owes Hunter because Hunter gave him the job 5 years ago, or 5.5 years ago, whatever, 6 years ago, whatever it was.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk to Brad Logan, right, Time?
Mm-hmm. Brad Logan.
All right, he's going to give us some thoughts on this game with Arkansas and Ole Miss. Stay with us here. It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs! Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range. Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks.
This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
If you or a loved one experienced emotional distress due to slow internet 25 years ago, Taco Bell believes you're entitled to a delicious escape. The Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos, 7-layer burrito, caramel apple empanada, and more. All $3 or less. Claim 5 returning faves and relive what you love from the 2000s. If you already suffered dial-up, don't wait any longer. Experience Taco Bell's Decades Y2K menu now. At participating stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price of participation vary. Tax extra.
Who can you trust?
Porsche
Sell
Little
your home
Rock
for the
is
most
Arkansas's
money with the least
only
amount of drama?
Porsche
You need
center
a team.
and your destination for performance, luxury, and world-class service. Experience our popular line of SUVs with the Porsche Macan and Cayenne, both in stock and ready to deliver. Need service? We'll pick up and deliver your Porsche anywhere in the state and provide a loaner vehicle when available. Visit us today at 516 Colonel Glenn Plaza Loop or browse our inventory online at PorscheLittleRock.com.
Craving something mouth-watering? Get ready for a taste sensation at KDK's Chicken and Waffles coming soon to 1772 North College Avenue in Fayetteville. But why wait? Visit the food trailer on Dixon Street today before or after the game. Join owner and former Razorback wide receiver Keith Kidd for his famous fried chicken, loaded waffle fries, and irresistible mac and cheese bowls. And the made-from-scratch peach cobbler. KDK's Chicken and Waffles, where flavor meets tradition. Stop by the trailer today on Dixon Street and taste the magic today.
When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee, back, hip, or shoulder barking at you? Hey, it's Tommy Kraft. You know that nagging pain you wake up with every morning? For me, it was my shoulder. It bothered me for months, especially when I played golf. And I kept thinking it'll just go away. But it didn't go away until I called QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments worked with my body to restore and repair the damaged tissue. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. And I feel great, pain-free, back to playing golf without wincing through every swing. If joint pain is slowing you down, don't wait. Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation. Bring your x-rays or your MRIs. Let their team show you how they can get you relief the natural way. Hey, worst case, you walk away with more information. Best case, to get your life back, just like I did. 479-999-1234. Call them today. 479-999-1234. QC Kinetics. Real relief, real results. 479-999-1234.
They say you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And they're right.
This is Thomas Cole at Walker Brothers Menswear in Fayetteville and Rogers. We know showing up matters. Whether it's game day, a big meeting, or a night out, how you present yourself says everything. That's why we handpick exceptional clothing with service you can trust to help you look and feel your absolute best.
Walker Brothers, your life, your style, your store.
So I know I said I'd fix the faucet today, but I scored tickets to see the game.
Then go. I already called Paramount Plumbing.
Wait, really?
Yep, they'll handle it. Last time you tried, we ended up with a mop and a wet ceiling.
Okay. So I'm free to go?
Totally. Just don't let me catch you shirtless on the Jumbotron again.
When game day calls, let us tackle the leaks. Paramount Plumbing, professional, friendly, and football fan approved. Call 479-790-8427.
Blue Ember Smokehouse is now open in Rogers. Come grab a plate of slow smoked brisket, juicy turkey, or fall off the bone ribs, fresh out of the pit and served with their signature side. They slice it fresh, smoking it right, and serving it hot every day at 1723 West Pleasant Grove Road in Rogers. So whether it's lunch with coworkers, dinner with the family, or catering for large events, swing by and taste perfection at Blue Ember Smokehouse, Rogers' new go-to for great barbecue. Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
And we're floating in a sea of red.
Arkansas wins! About 115 billion reasons to love the Razorbacks. Kobe Hamilton, can you believe it? Razorback! I got that wood.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, celebrating more than 15 years of scholarships. Learn more at myarkansasLottery.com. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, largest inventory of Razorback merchandise in the business, and locally owned by a family of Arkansas alums. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
Here's the line, keep on rolling, put the ball right down the field with a chair. Never feel Arkansas will never hear.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
When they run through that A here 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't need Viagra, but that's my Viagra when they run through
This is Arkansas Game Day.
All right, let's keep it going here as we've got Arkansas and Ole Miss coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. Our game day coverage here presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Ty Richardson's in Oxford. I'm Derek Ruskin in our studios here in Northwest Arkansas. And joining us now is a podcaster and a contributor for On3. Brad Logan is with us here with his thoughts on tonight's game. Hi, Brad. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me on today.
Okay, so the big topic is quarterback Austin Simmons. What are you hearing there?
Yeah, well, Ben Garrett of On3 reported earlier today that it was likely that Trinidad Chambliss would start at quarterback. Now, I will say this. Austin Simmons has not looked quite as good as everyone that kind of followed the program. You kind of get the temperature of the fan base, and it has not gone as swimmingly as the fans would have liked. I say that to say last week, 2 interceptions, and it's 10-0 Kentucky. It pretty much kept Kawan Lacey putting Ole Miss back in the game before it would eventually beat Kentucky. I do think that Trinidad Chambliss, if he is called upon, is going to be serviceable enough for Ole Miss. Now, if I'm sitting here saying that I think Trinidad Chambliss is a quarterback of the future, absolutely not. Ole Miss needs Austin Simmons to play, and they need him to play well today against Arkansas, because I think Arkansas is a much, much better team than Ole Miss has faced the last couple of weeks, specifically Kentucky. So as of right now, I personally expect Austin Simmons to play, but as the news came out a little bit earlier, there was a bit of an ankle, lower body injury to Austin Simmons last week against Kentucky. He was helped off the field. So it was obviously a substantial injury, but he came back in. He ran the last play of the game, took a knee. Lane Kiffin was asked at the local press and media availability on Sunday night and on Monday, and he reiterated on Wednesday, that he expects Austin Simmons to play. So we'll see here in a couple of hours.
To your point, Brad, how much of this do you think is gamesmanship? I mean, on Wednesday report, not on last night report. We'll see what the one that comes out later on today. How much do you think Lane Kiffin is just using this to maybe distract Sam Pittman and Travis Williams, or at least keep their times preoccupied with having to plan for both quarterbacks?
A lot. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I've been around, being around the program. I just don't put a lot of stock in the availability report until there's more stringent rules by the conference about what you can and can't put in there. And here's the thing: I don't begrudge Lane Kiffin for not being completely transparent with his availability report. So he's not one that really opens up about injuries. He's very similar to other coaches throughout the conference. Some more forgiving than others are open about talking about injuries. But with Lane Kiffin, he's not. And so to answer your question, Ty, I would not be surprised in the least if this were some form of gamesmanship. I do know, though, there was an injury to Austin Simmons. How deep or how significant it is, I think is we'll see here in a couple of hours. But I do expect, and here's the thing, people that would make a big deal about Chambliss being maybe the starter, maybe Austin Simmons working himself in. This is not your normal starter. This is a quarterback that Ole Miss has packages for. He's a running quarterback. He won the national championship with Ferris State last year. I understand it's a Division II program, but he's someone that understands the importance of competition. He's very well versed in this offense, and from everything that I've been told, he really grasped the Charlie Weiss, Lane Kiffin offense really well. So it could be worse for Ole Miss. But at the end of the day, I think there's probably quite a bit of gamesmanship involved in this availability report.
So as far as Ole Miss offense is concerned, I heard Lane Kiffin get asked about Caden Lee, who was expected, I thought, to be the number one wide receiver, hadn't necessarily been that this year. I know they've had some injuries also on the outside. Brad, for Arkansas's defense, they got torched last year. You got a new secondary, new group of wide receivers. What do you anticipate that matchup looking like today, depending on if it's Chambliss or Simmons that's going to be targeting the Razorback secondary?
Yeah, I mean, you look at what Ole Miss was able to do last year, and Jordan Watkins, I would expect a lot of Arkansas fans kind of saw, had nightmares about him. He had a big game, and he's a good receiver. And it just is one of those days to where Taylor Green turned the ball over. He was injured. If it could have gone wrong for Arkansas last year, I mean, it went wrong. And Ole Miss was just clicking on all cylinders. I think you and I, Ty, had talked, and it was just kind of a day to where Jackson Dart was on point. And so I don't foresee last year happening this year. I think that was a bit of an anomaly. You look back over the history of this series, and it's much, much closer. And one thing I learned kind of digging through some things, this is the first time these teams have faced off undefeated since 1989, and that was a game which Arkansas won. It's been quite a few years ago. I think at wide receiver for Ole Miss, Harrison Wallace III, they call him Trey. He's been big. He's a transfer wide receiver that's came in and done big things. He's the one, I expected Deshaun Stribling to kind of be Harrison Wallace this year. So he's kind of taken that over, but he's been really good. Now, a lot of the throws, especially a big fourth down play last week that Ole Miss was down 10-0. They drove into Kentucky territory, kind of got stopped, and the fourth down play to Harrison Wallace saved the game, I think. Deuce Alexander, transfer out of Wake Forest, and then Deshaun Stribling. So those have been the three wide receivers for Ole Miss. You mentioned Caden Lee, all-conference preseason, all-conference selection coming in, and just has been bracketed a lot, only just a handful of catches. I think there's a lot of Austin Simmons has struggled. Austin Simmons has got to go through his progressions better than he did the last couple of weeks. I think that will open up the field a little bit for Caden Lee. So definitely someone that we're expecting to have at some point a breakout game one point this year.
We're talking with Brad Logan here on the Arkansas Game Day show here on ESPN Arkansas. Brad, Arkansas's offense has been pretty I don't know if they can play much better in the first two games, granted not against SEC competition. Talk about a little bit with the Ole Miss defense facing Taylor Green and this Razorback offensive attack. Why do you see that playing out?
Well, earlier this year we only get a chance to visit with Pete Golding once a year. And one of the first things that was talked about was the defense from last year. I think you guys have talked a lot about it on your shows throughout the week. Ole Miss had one of the best defenses in the country last year. A lot of those players are in the NFL, and very few are on the roster this year for Ole Miss. So Pete Golding, when he said that he doesn't expect a big drop-off from last year, I think everybody kind of perked up and thought, okay, how is that possible? And so looking at the roster, I didn't see it. And I will say it is much better than I anticipated going into the year, especially over the last couple of weeks. The defense kind of keeping Ole Miss in the game, putting in some very adverse situations. against Kentucky. Now, Kentucky is a very poor offensive team, and I think Dowdell's a serviceable running back. Calzada's not very good, and some would argue that Kentucky has the worst team in the conference. I'm not sitting here to dispute that, but they are a Southeastern Conference offense, I should say, and Ole Miss was on the road. I thought the defense played really well. I think Ole Miss's defensive line is really good. Xavier Harris, he's a big-time player. He's someone I think you'll see in the league. They've got some decent depth, but that front with Cam Franklin, Will Eccles, and Deshaun Wilmack at defensive end, really good defensive front. I think Ole Miss has surprised you more than anything is just how well they've played at linebacker. I knew T.J. Dotter, he's kind of the captain on that defense, would be good, but Jaden Yates, a transfer out of South Alabama, has been fantastic. So it's been interesting to watch him, and Taj Chambers has added some depth. But I think, and I truly believe, if Arkansas is successful and they win the game, I think it's because they were able to kind of nitpick that Ole Miss secondary. I think there are some question marks with Nick Cole, Kapina Gashukin, the transfer out of Washington. There are some areas that I think Arkansas could target. And Ole Miss has had a nice return from Antonio Kite, the transfer out of Auburn. He's been good. Sage Ryan's been okay. Wyatt Williams has played a lot, a senior transfer, and I did not expect him to play a ton. And Ricky Fletcher has been good. So the secondary, I do think, has some question marks. And by the way, a name I have not mentioned is junior transfer Jalen Braxton from Arkansas. Hasn't played. Neither has tight end Luke Haas, has not played. And the third transfer that we haven't discussed is Patrick Kudus, and he has played. And if you've followed social media, you've understood that Ole Miss fans have not been incredibly pleased with his play. Now, I'm one that has not been quite as on that bandwagon. I think he obviously struggled early, but to be fair, he wore a black jersey almost entirely in the preseason camp, whether it be injury or just keeping him from being injured. So I think he will progress much, much more down the season. He will get better. I thought it was really good in the second half against Kentucky. So, but that secondary is definitely an area I think is a cause of concern for Ole Miss.
Brad Logan with us here on Arkansas Game Day. Brad does the Believe in Ole Miss podcast as well as contributing for On3 Sports, also host of the Red Blue Crew pod. Brad, Rusk and I were kicking this around earlier, who Arkansas's permanent opponents would be, and I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Do the Razorbacks wind up with Ole Miss as a permanent opponent, in your opinion?
I hope so. I've talked a lot, and I use the R word with Arkansas. I always have. I've said the word rivalry, and I think it is. I think in the totality of Arkansas has an edge. I don't think I'm not arguing that. I do think it's closed the gap over the years. And some remember as a kid growing up, that 1989 game, we remember both teams were undefeated. Arkansas would win that game. You fast forward to the 1990 game in War Memorial, in which Ole Miss stopped Ron Dickerson and Quinn, and Ole Miss wins in Little Rock. You fast forward, you've got the Hunter Heave. You and I talked a lot about these games. I mean, almost every game has got some type of crazy. And by the way, I expect something insane to happen tonight, just because something as crazy has happened for years, with the exception of last year. And so I truly believe, for me, I think the perfect rivalries, LSU, Arkansas, and Mississippi State would be the permanents. So I'm hoping that it is Arkansas. I think personally, I'm selfishly, because I love Fayetteville, I love Northwest Arkansas, and I love that road trip. So I love going to see family in Fayetteville area. So I'm hoping that it is, but I think it's natural. It's ought to be that third team.
All right, Brad Logan with us here as we continue to preview this Arkansas and Ole Miss matchup later tonight. Brad, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Brad Logan with us here on Arkansas Game Day. So there you go. He thinks Simmons is going to play, even though that's my takeaway, Ty. I don't know what you thought after.
My head's in it. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? And then what they might do, you remember when Missouri game, and then he didn't play. And this was prior to the injury report. They did that intentionally, and then KJ suited up. So I could see Austin Simmons going through and them watching him do that, and all of a sudden they tried out Tristan Chambliss. So this is definitely a bit of gamesmanship. if you say something and I mishear or don't, just know that is in my frame of vision that I have to wall them and trying to obstruct them out of my vision, as I guess to say.
You're a true professional, Ty. Thank you.
True professional.
That's right. Northwestern blew up my parlay, so a garbage touchdown late. Yep.
All right, so we get in the show prematurely 45 minutes early.
We might as well do the show now. There's no reason to watch the rest of this stuff. So
there's nothing to live for. Derek's parlay is blown up.
Northwestern.
If Arkansas, speaking of that, I don't have a parlay going, but I do have. If Arkansas, I personally, I think they're going to lose by a touchdown or a field goal. But if they somehow give up a late time field goal or touchdown and lose by 10, I'm going to do bad things to myself, Derek. Be 2 losses for the 2 hosts of Arkansas Game Day.
Yeah, look at us go. We're on fire here, folks. We're absolutely on fire. All right, we're going to take a break here, and we'll come back and continue to chop this up. We've got people texting in some thoughts on this Simmons situation with Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin, front and center as usual here. We'll talk about all that coming up. Arkansas Game Day, back after this.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs, Chuck.
Robert. And this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth, and we want to introduce the newest member to the Hello, 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 and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Raleigh, you're not really new to the family or the stadium in a few years, and I can say it's awesome to be a part of the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store in Arkansas.
You mean the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
And thank goodness we are the largest, because we've been receiving so much new stuff lately, like the new Nike jerseys and sideline apparel, as well as your favorite brands like Champion, Tommy Bahama, and way too much stuff to mention here.
Hey, Raleigh, what state's famous for their small drinks?
Raleigh don't.
For the smallest drinks.
Minnesota.
See, I told you.
Yeah, his dad jokes are so... Anyway, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next time you're in Fayetteville. Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or shop the Googleator Facegram interweb page.
Dad, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Looking for power, comfort, and performance you can... The New Holland 300 Series Compact Track Loader delivers all three. Backed by reviews from operators who say it's the smoothest ride and best visibility in its class. And right now at WT Equipment, you can choose 0% financing for 60 months or take advantage of big cashback offers. Built to perform and made to last, the 300 Series is ready when you are. Visit WT, experience it for yourself.
To win a free $12,000 trip to Disney? Join us for Home Tour September 13th through the 21st. Tour beautiful homes, grab a passport, and enter to win one of 3 incredible trips, including Disney, a Branson getaway at the Ozarker Hotel with tickets to City, and a local staycation. Plus, on Saturdays the 13th and 20th, enjoy free food trucks, coffee, and treats at every event. Details at BuffingtonHomesAR.com. Don't miss out.
Craving something mouth? Ready for a taste sensation at KDK's Chicken and Waffles, coming soon to 1772 North College Avenue in Fayetteville. But why wait? Visit Dixon Street today before or after the game. Join owner and former Razorback wide receiver Keith Kidd for his famous loaded waffle fries and irresistible mac and cheese bowls. And the made-from-scratch peach cobbler. KDK, where flavor meets tradition. Stop by the trailer today on Dixon Street and taste the magic.
Shop every team in town.
Whether you're a student, alumni, or outrageous Razorback fan, there's no better place to shop Arkansas gear than the game this year. Make sure you stop by Rally House Arena Village right off campus. This is a hog for gear, gifts, and so much more. Rally House is a must-stop shop when you're in Fayetteville this season.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Hey, barbecue lovers, it's JT from Blue Ember Smokehouse. Mark your Tuesday, September 17th from 2 to 6 p.m. Ruskin and Zach will be here broadcasting live. Come grab barbecue, hang out with the guys, and enjoy an afternoon of great food and fun. That's September 17th, 2 to 6 p.m. right here at Blue Ember Smokehouse in Rogers, 1723 West Pleasant Grove Road. We'll see you then. Blue Ember Smokehouse. Get smoked.
Life is loud, chaos, hilarious,
and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you. Why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Friend JT Finley at 479-521-4220.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials installed for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The Razorback Raffle is back. This raffle is a new and exciting way to support Razorback athletics, whether you're inside Razorback Stadium or calling the Hogs anywhere in the great state of Arkansas. Our inaugural raffle jackpots grew to nearly $500,000 last spring. Now you can be our next big winner, even if you're not in the stadium. Get your raffle ticket purchased to have a chance to win big right now at RazorbackRaffle.com.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green, though, going to keep it on the option right side. He's in the clear across midfield. They've got to catch him, and they can't do it.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
We're calling plays that seem to be scoring, but those are the good kind. I love those a lot.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Right back here on Arkansas Game Day. Couple things here. The number on the Bet Saracen app right now, Ty, is 4. Ole Miss 4-point favorites right now.
It's gone down almost a touchdown. It's almost gone 6 points since the start of this week. That is wild.
And
that leads you to believe that Simmons is not playing based on that, or is that just Arkansas fans like there's no way we lose this game?
Yeah, it's I mean, obviously the quarterback misinformation campaign has to factor into this to a certain extent, right? I mean, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Lane Kiffin. I don't think the league's going to do a thing about this, by the way. People are like, oh, look, it's against the rules. I don't think the SEC really cares all that much about Lane Kiffin messing with the injury report in an Arkansas Ole Miss game. Now, if someone pulled this in Alabama, Auburn, or Texas or OU, a higher profile matchup, maybe the league would be a little bit more interested. But I don't think they care about what he's doing with this injury report or whatever with Simmons. And they've got some plausible deniability, like Brad said, Ty. I mean, he did actually hurt his ankle, so it's just how do you react day to day. I mean, they have a case, I guess. I don't know.
It is interesting how different coaches divulge injuries. Others are keep them to themselves. Sam has at times done that, and other times he's been forthcoming with stuff. Again, it looks like Quincy Rhodes and Devin Baylor are listed as probable last night. Didn't see David Oakey's name, which is really encouraging if you're an Arkansas fan. On last night's injury report, we'll see it. What is it, an hour, 30 minutes before kickoff, whatever it is.
I believe that's right, yeah. So about 4:30.
Yeah, so we'll get that update, and hopefully Arkansas doesn't have any issues that derail them. Because I mean, I feel like if you play Ole Miss's backup quarterback tonight, even though it is on the road and in Oxford, Mississippi, I'd feel pretty confident you're going to win this game tonight.
The whole process here, I don't understand. If you believe you're a good football team, what do you care if the opponent knows who's gonna? If you think you're going to win, then it shouldn't matter who you list as is going to be the starting quarterback or not be the starting quarterback. To me, if you're totally confident in your group, I'm a believer, though, in the old Nolan Richardson philosophy, Ty, which is when he'd open up practice and sell popcorn at Barnhill Arena in the 90s.
Yeah.
Say, come watch. We're going to beat you. It doesn't matter. Just come in and watch. We don't care. But that is not how most of college sports works anymore. But I don't know. I just don't. the head games with it. It seems like a lot of wasted energy when you should be focused on other things as a head coach. You know what I mean?
We live in a very much more of a followers than leaders society nowadays. And so when you, again, with coaches like this, I don't think that whether it's limiting the media's access to practice or the injury stuff, that's what a lot of other coaches do. So other coaches are going to follow suit. They probably think it helps their team, helps their process, giving coaches, having them to think more things about stuff like that. But I like the approach you brought up with Coach Richardson. It's like, hey, yeah, you can watch this. We're still going to beat you. Yeah, you might know what we're doing. We'll still beat you.
Right.
Arkansas doesn't have the football talent, unfortunately, to do that, though, or for the most part.
We have a final score, Ty, from Atlanta.
Okay.
Georgia Tech hits a 40-yard field goal at the gun to win it 24-21 over the Clemson Tigers.
Let's go, baby.
We have an upset in Atlanta.
The Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. That's remarkable. I mean, that program, you obviously used to run the triple option with, I guess, Paul Johnson,
yep.
And now they've changed things up. Haynes Keene is a really tough kid. I love watching him play.
So we're obviously, at some point, I don't know when it's going to be, there's going to be another wave of openings in this conference. And, is Brett Pry a guy that gets a look? Maybe not at Florida, but somewhere else. Alex Golish at UCF. Like, we're seeing some of these, like, the next guys to get the giant profile job. Like, we're seeing some of these guys emerge, I think, in college football. Like Georgia Tech, South Florida, maybe a couple other spots that are going to get those opportunities, like like a DeBoer, who is, today gets a big win at Alabama to help him out. And then, we'll see what's going on with Napier, who had a terrible loss last week at home to South Florida.
Yeah, I tend to think that there are going to be coaching changes. I mean, last year to not have a single coach cycle out of the league is wild, and I can't see that 2 years. And I know that money's changed, and there's a lot of other things that athletic directors have to account for. But kind of like you, this Golish seems to be the ticket. Brent Key, who you mentioned for Georgia Tech, there's probably one or the two out there that are the Tulane guys. Seems to always resonate with a lot of Power 5 jobs are named as at least in the discussion. So to me, I can't see a scenario, Derek, where there's 2 straight years of like standstill when it comes to SEC football coaches.
Yeah, and right now, I think most of the attention's on what's going on in Gainesville. I mean, if they get just absolutely crushed tonight at LSU, what happens with that situation with Napier? If they somehow come out and play well and win, then all the LSU fans will be mad at Brian Kelly. So it's the way it is. It's week to week. There's only one game a week, so you got to overreact one way or the other to it with all these different fan bases. So that's going to be an intriguing one to keep up with tonight. But boy, Florida, not only did Florida lose, Ty, but the way they did it just completely. First of all, I hated the way he ran the clock at the end. He had timeouts and he didn't use them at the right time.
Napier's a terrible in-game coach.
Terrible. Yep. And then you have the kid get thrown out for spitting on the guy. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, they have like a 30-yard pass play. UCF is pretty good, but so I could have seen the game go either way. But just the way Florida managed the final 2 minutes was an unmitigated disaster of their own doing for the most part.
Go watch the Florida game 2 years ago when Arkansas went in the swamp and won. Napier was terrible in that game. Arkansas was lucky to escape with that victory. Thank you, Tyrone Broden, for catching that ball in the back of the end zone. But I don't see. I was surprised he made it through last year. But you want to know something crazy, Derek?
What?
I think they're going to win tonight in Death Valley at night. I really do. I thought about it this week leading up. I picked him to cover yesterday. I think Lagway and company are going to win that game. You know why? LSU's offense has not looked good through 2 weeks of football. It hasn't. And I am shocked. I thought Nussmeier would have that thing humming. To me, he was the best quarterback in the SEC heading into the season. I think that's a little murkier now. Sellers hadn't been great through 2 weeks. He hasn't been great through 2 weeks. I don't know what quarterback in this league, you can say Taylor. Taylor hasn't played anybody. If he plays good tonight, then you can at least put him in that conversation. But I think that conversation is a lot more murkier than maybe it was before the season. And to your initial point about the reactions with whether it's Florida fans, LSU fans, Clemson, Georgia Tech fans, it's like, what is the reaction from tonight's game going to be? If Arkansas does win, do you feel like all of a sudden, man, we could make a run in 9 or 10 games? Or is it kind of like, well, we played the backup quarterback. It's still a great win on the road in the SEC, but we need to hold we still got Memphis next week. You got Notre Dame in 2 weeks. It's not like the schedule lightens up here for the Razorbacks, especially in their first SEC game.
All right, we'll take a break here on Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. We'll take you around the conference, get a look at some of the games about to get underway. Stay with us here on ESPN Arkansas.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs! To sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama, you need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and, of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team could give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Hey, Razorback fans, the ESPN Fan Experience is now open at the Mall Avenue location in Fayetteville. Stop by the pop-up experience and check out exclusive Razorback memorabilia. Get your photo taken behind the iconic Sports Center desk. It's all happening at the Walmart, 3919 Mall Avenue in Fayetteville. Open noon to 8, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's the ESPN Fan Experience happening throughout the month of September.
Are you frustrated with a lawn that just won't thrive? At Lawn Pride of Northwest Arkansas, we understand how discouraging that can be. That's why we offer professional lawn aeration, a proven way to help your grass grow stronger from the roots up. Aeration loosens compacted soil, boosts oxygen, water, and nutrient flow, giving you a healthy lawn you can be proud of. Whether you're dealing with patchy spots or just want to stay ahead, Lawn Pride's experience makes it easy to become the envy of your neighborhood. Don't wait until your yard is struggling. Call 479-241-2180 today.
Your financial future isn't one size fits all. So why should your financial plan be? At Mach 1 Financial Group, we believe in personal finance made personal. Taking the next step toward your financial goals starts with a 15-minute call, where our advisors take the time to understand your vision and begin crafting a plan to help you achieve it. Find an advisor who's invested in you at Mach1FG.com. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. A copy of Mach 1's current written disclosure brochure is available through the SEC website and at disclosures.mach1fg.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you want to walk, play pickleball, and enjoy other fun activities to stay healthy, but can't because you're in pain? Hi, this is Mike, and the Good Feet store wants to help you get out of pain.
I just had difficulty walking when I had the pain. I tried them on in the store, and I would say almost instant relief.
Are you buying new shoes and inserts with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
Don't let foot, knee, or back pain get in the way of you staying healthy and having fun.
Thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm bowling 3 nights a week, pain-free.
At the Good Feet store, we'll personally fit you with high-quality arch supports to maximize your comfort. Get back to doing what you love. Stop in the Good Feet store or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. In Fayetteville, we're across from Walmart on Mall Avenue, and in Rogers, we're across from Top Golf.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
It's time to cheer on those Hogs. Game day isn't just on the field, it's at JJ's Grill. Catch the Hogs in every college football matchup, every Saturday at every JJ's location. With wall-to-wall TVs, ice-cold drinks, and that roar of the crowd energy, watching at JJ's feels just like being there. So grab your crew, wear your colors, and make JJ's your home for college football Saturdays. JJ's Grill, where the game lives.
We all try to prepare for life's what-ifs, but when those uncertainties become a reality, you need someone you can count on. Kevin Crone, your local farmer's agent, is here to help guide you through it all. The coverage for your business, call farmer's agent Kevin Crone today at 479-846-0836.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by farmers. Truck or fire insurance, exchanges, or affiliate products not available in every state.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green, though, going to keep it on the option right side. He's in the clear across midfield. They've got to catch him, and they can't do it.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by
The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
We're calling plays that seem to be scoring, but those are the good kind. I love those a lot.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
We are back here, Arkansas and Ole Miss, 6 o'clock tonight here on the radio and on ESPN on TV.
Woo!
Yes. From Vaught
Gas me
Hemingway
up, Derek.
Stadium. What's that?
Gas me up, Derek.
Okay. All right. We've got Arkansas right now a 4-point dog on the Bet Saracen app, so that's moved quite a bit. And, of course, we've been talking about some of the confusion on Ole Miss's quarterback situation. Austin Simmons, will he play? Will he not play? What's going on there? Final availability report if you take stock. And that stuff scheduled to come out around 4:30 today to see if there's any update on all of that. We've already had an upset today in college football, Ty. We just told you a little while ago, Georgia Tech beats Clemson on a field goal at the buzzer, 24-21. And so we're getting ready for some of these afternoon games to get underway. Auburn right now is facing South Alabama, and Auburn can't get off the field defensively. South Alabama is down 16, and there's only 3 minutes left or so, but they are still driving at the Auburn 22-yard line. And so we'll see if South Alabama can inch closer. Maybe something crazy happens with an onside kick, but they are Auburn unable to put away the South Alabama Jaguars right now.
Go Jaguars! That would be something considered. Auburn, I guess, opens up SEC play against Oklahoma and Norman next week. So put it in the end zone, Jags. Let's go.
Missouri's up 45-10 on Louisiana. That game is late in the third quarter. Coming up at 2:30, Georgia and Tennessee from Knoxville. Georgia 3.5-point favorite. Top 15 matchup there between the checkerboards in Knoxville today, and I think Tennessee's going to win the game outright.
Do you?
I think so. Yeah, I do.
You got the balls. All right, so give me the Ruskin read on that. Why do you got Tennessee in that one?
I just think that Tennessee has looked like a better looks like the better team through the first a couple of games here. I like what they've done. I like that Heupel got rid of the problems with all the Iamaleava stuff, and this Aguilar kid is moving the ball really well. Different test today. I understand all that with Georgia, but yeah, I think Tennessee's ready to pull this thing off today. I believe it.
I hope so, man. They hadn't won that game since 2016. I've never been to a game in Knoxville. I know Tommy has. Did you go with him in 2015?
I did not. No.
Okay. I know they were down 14-0. Yeah, that would be cool to see. I'm ready for Georgia to kind of be back in that 8-4, 9-3 Mark Richt team, 10-2. Their dominance under Kirby's is remarkable, and I'm kind of annoyed by it now. I'm ready for them to get back to where they used to be.
Auburn stopped them on 4th down, so they've got the ball back up by 16 with 2.5 to go. So that's just about over there in Auburn today with that matchup. Let's see. Do you have a read on Miami? Do you think Miami's really good? They got the big one today on the CW, taking on the South Florida Bulls.
Well, first read is kind of what you kind of joked about earlier. Why is this game on the CW? Can we not find it anywhere else to broadcast the game? The CW is meant for like Gossip Girl, One Tree Hill, and some of those.
Reese Davis had the best line today. It's the biggest thing to happen to CW since the Gilmore Girls. That's a very, very good line by, of course, the all-time great Reese Davis. But yeah,
man,
you're not used to this kind of stuff. Where's Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I mean, come on,
man. I hope Golish and USF pulls it off. Go Bulls! They do what is it? I can't even do it. But I've seen a lot of the signs since they've won. They would all basically own Florida. You just got to beat Florida State, I guess. So I don't think they have them on their schedule. But go Bulls, Derek. I'm hoping they pull it out against Carson Beck, who looked rejuvenated in game one. We'll see if he can beat another in-state school tonight. By the way, the backyard brawl has just been turned on the television here in the press box, and they could turn on the Georgia and Tennessee game as well. So we got a Phil Elson who is very in tune with watching this game, being with the Pittsburgh connection.
Yes, of course. Means a lot out there. Yes. And, my grandpa grew up in Western PA. So I've got a little bit of, Latrobe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Right there. Yeah. So
little Yinzer.
that's right. Yes. So, that's, I don't know anything about the area, but I know that's where the Ruskins come from once upon a time. So there you go. Way back in the day.
I would like to venture up to Pennsylvania at some point. Apparently the best golf course in the world, ranked consistently, is there outside of Philadelphia. I'd like to get to that neck of the woods. And is it Permane Bros, Phil? Is that it? I want to have Permane Brothers too. Yeah, get those French fries, those sandwiches.
Oh yeah. Permane Brothers, of course. Yes. We've got Reverend Tanner texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I'm out of the loop on Chad Morris, but I'm going to assume he's no longer an analyst at South Florida since they're doing so well nowadays. Yeah, I believe he's back in high school athletics now at Chad Morris. I don't think he's in college football anymore.
I forgot that Chandler was quarterbacking in Virginia. I flipped on that game the other day, and I was like, oh, my gosh, this kid's still – and I don't wish any ill will on the guy. I was just like, man, this kid's still in college football. Wow.
I turned it on just in time for him to throw the game-losing interception last week against NC State. Really? Yeah, I saw that. And they said Chandler Morris. I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Wow. How about that?
How about that?
It's amazing what happens. And when I still believe his mother never did one load of laundry in the state of Arkansas in the year and a half that her husband worked here.
Can I reveal something?
Sure.
On that. So I don't think my friend would mind me. One of my friends kind of had a thing with Morris's daughter for a little bit.
Okay.
And what he told me is that this was thought to be a stepping stone job. Which we found out is not the case. Now, obviously, he stepped from Arkansas into other positions, but not necessarily, I think, in the way that they wanted to. I think it's important to have someone in Fayetteville, whether it's the head coach of football, basketball, and obviously baseball. We know that, but that wants to be there. And not only did he not want him to be there, but the fans didn't want him to be there after about a year and 10 games.
Yeah. I've told this story 100 times, Ty, but one of my favorite moments was of the Chad Morris era. And, there were signs this was kind of a goofy deal from the start. But he had an event at then Verizon Arena, recruiting signing day deal. And they dropped this dummy down from the rafters. And then they turn the lights off. And then they turn the lights back on, and Morris appears. And people were like, oh, did you see him come down from the... I'm like, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was a dummy. But people were convinced, Ty. Razorback fans were convinced that their coach had descended from the rafters to make a cool entrance at a recruiting event in North Little Rock.
He's like Tom Cruise, Derek. He performs all his own stunts.
He did not perform that stunt. He did not perform that stunt. And I watched it over and over and over again. I'm like, that's not even him. The dummy had a hat on. Like it was totally bizarre. And then the lights going off for 20 seconds while he scrambled into place. Anyway, it was one of the funnier moments where the fans were, eating up with the Kool-Aid, and I had to be like, listen, that's not really him. But you know what? Think whatever you want to think. It doesn't matter to me. All right. We are here, 877-377-6963 in it's our Arkansas Game Day coverage here, presented by the Stadium Shop. This is the place, your Game Day headquarters, largest selection of Razorback gear south of the North Pole, Nike, Champion, Tommy Bahama, Comfort Wash. And you can sign up for the Ultimate Game Day giveaway, not only at every home game, but anytime during the week at the Stadium Shop. One fan is going to win $1,000 in gift cards, including $200 to the Stadium Shop. The winner will be announced November 29th before the Arkansas-Missouri game, I assume right here on this very show. Is that the plan?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we'll get Robert. I'll give Robert his just due, and I guess I won't. I'll be gone. I'll be in Ann Arbor. But, yeah, we'll do the show that day and let Robert and Elizabeth, Raleigh, and Matt announce it.
989 South Razorback Road or shoponrazorback.com. And the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, celebrating more than 15 years of scholarships. Learn more at myarkansaslottery.com. All right, Ty and I will wrap up our pregame festivities right after this here on ESPN Arkansas. Don't move.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by
the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs, Chuck! Has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range.
Truly an unlucky state to be in. This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket. State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks. This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Football season is here, and just like the Hogs, your home comfort system needs to bring its A game. Armor Heating and Air is here to keep you comfortable all season long. From summer heat waves to chilly fall nights, their all-star team is ready to tackle any HVAC challenge. Whether it's a quick tune-up, emergency repair, or a brand new system. Call 479-372-4134 or visit armorheatingandair.com today. Armor Heating and Air. Stay cool, stay warm, and go Hogs.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eye. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at mcdonaldeye.com.
Porsche Little Rock is Arkansas's only Porsche Center and your destination for performance, luxury, and world-class service. Experience our popular line of SUVs with the Porsche Macan and Cayenne, both in stock and ready to deliver. Need service? We'll pick up and deliver your Porsche anywhere in the state and provide a loaner vehicle when available. Visit us today at 516 Colonel Glenn Plaza Loop or browse our inventory online at PorscheLittleRock.com.
Sterling Bank is your community bank. Sterling Bank values their role in Northwest Arkansas and works hard to make our community stronger each day. They're invested in relationships that go beyond banking. They're your friends and neighbors, and know that when we support each other, the whole community wins. If you're looking for a bank that offers top-notch customer service and a complete menu of products that make your banking experience pleasant and productive, visit them in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville. Sterling Bank, local friendly banking made to fit you. Member FDIC.
On the road to the game or anywhere life takes you, accidents don't take a timeout. From fender benders to hail damage, you need a repair team you can trust. Courtney Hollingsworth Auto Body has been family owned for over 40 years and proudly holds an iCar Gold Class certification, ranking them in the top 15% of collision repair shops nationwide. From dents and dings to hail damage repair, their expert technicians will have your car looking like new. Schedule your estimate today. Go to CourtneyHollingsworth.com.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
Call Scott Comiskey in Bella Vista and Steve Harp in Springdale.
If you're looking for the best Chicago-style pizza outside of the Windy City, you need to head to Cassano's. Every pizza is made from scratch with the freshest ingredients and served the way you want it. And while you enjoy that perfect slice, catch all the games. Cassano's is your premier sports bar with lots of TVs showing all your favorite teams. Your place for the best pizza, coldest drinks, friendliest service, local events, and entertainment. It's Cassano's Chicago-style pizza.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $1 billion. So, what would you do if you won?
I'd buy a baseball team.
Ooh, I would definitely buy my mom a Tesla so that she can drive cool, look cool.
If I won a jackpot, I would start a cooking school for the youth in the city.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Powerball jackpot of more than $1 billion. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Green, though, going to keep it on the option right side. He's in the clear across midfield. They've got to catch him, and they can't do it.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
We're calling plays that seem to be scoring, but those are the good kind. I love those a lot.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
All right, Arkansas Game Day. To toss it to the Learfield crew coming up at 3 o'clock here on ESPN Arkansas. And, of course, you can hear that on the Hit That Line Now app. The last time, you mentioned this earlier, the last time Ruskin and Ty worked together in Oxford.
All right, I love you too.
All right. Thank you.
Sorry, no, not you, Derek.
2 years ago on the post-game show. So.
Riveting analysis as we often provide you here on these airwaves. Yeah, I guess I got kicked out of the Grove and was having to walk back in my car and do the rest of the show on the Field Tap app. And that ended up happening that night. So fell in love. Derek fell in love probably, I don't know, 130 times last night, just being out in the library. We know the story about this place. Ole Miss red shirts, Miss Americas. It's pretty remarkable here in Oxford. But yeah, it's just hoping we have another memorable post-game moment tonight with me, Matt, and Big C.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Arkansas is going to win and obviously cover this ball game. Yeah, I just I'm not sold on what Ole Miss has done in the trenches so far. I don't think Kudus is very good at all. I don't think he was good here. He's certainly not good there. So I think that there's an advantage there for Arkansas. Arkansas obviously has the quarterback advantage, in my opinion, regardless of whoever plays, Simmons or the kid from Ferris State. So, yeah, I can see Arkansas getting a road win tonight, Ty.
Derek, here's something I wanted to present to you, and you tell me what you think. So, Talon has yet to have a signature SEC moment at Arkansas. Road wins, to me, against lackluster teams in Auburn and Mississippi State don't necessarily rise to that. He got injured in the Tennessee game. That's not his fault. I feel like he could have had that moment if he was healthy. I think they would have won that game if he was healthy. But he hasn't had it yet. Like I referenced earlier, Arkansas hadn't won a ranked game on the road since 2020, week 2. Sam Pittman's second game as the head football coach against Mississippi State. So, to be the first quarterback in 5 years that would do that, especially kind of with a murky kind of quarterback ranking-wise in the SEC right now, this is his moment. This is his opportunity, and I know it's not just about the quarterback position. We'll see if he can make the most of it.
Everybody wants to be given stuff when you're a fan. You want all the attention. You'd rather be liked than good sometimes, but you have to go out and earn it. Like, you got to win these games. Like, I remember when the first couple of years when Musselman was getting it going and they weren't in the polls yet. People were like, what do you got to do? I'm like, well, you've got teams that are supposedly better than you on the schedule. Go beat them, and you'll get the attention. And what happened? Arkansas won those games. They got more attention, and then, of course, that team, I believe, went on to go to the Elite Eight that year with Musselman. It's the same deal. It's difficult to do. No one's saying it's easy, but it's always right there in front of you. You get to play a ranked team a lot in this league. You go out there, and you win more than you lose. It's all going to line up for you, and I think they have a good chance of going out there and winning this ballgame tonight.
Couple texts here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, Derek. Jamie in Fayetteville says, good show, men. Unfortunately, Herb Street has already picked Arkansas, so we've lost already.
Okay.
JT in Hot Springs says, you have convinced him. The Ruskin Reed has convinced him. Arkansas 34, Ole Miss 27. That's what he's got.
That's a win and obviously a cover, too. So, that's good.
Listen, I think obviously I want them to be on the high side, but if they cover 2, I'll be happy. I want them to win first, but if they cover, then
it's almost automatic covering road games like this. They play better on the road than they do at home usually.
Reference that stat. You had a great stat. What was it? 22-1 in the last 20?
Here. In the against the let's see, on the road. Let me find it. On the road as an underdog under Pittman. 15-5-1 against the spread, according to ESPN research. So
that's pretty remarkable, man.
Yeah. Well, no, 15-5-1 on the road, 13-4 against the spread as the road dog under Pittman. This is the spot where they've done really well. So here's the one thing I have a concern about, Ty. So last week, I thought they would be looking ahead and they were focused in to win.
Mm-hmm.
So now, does the reverse happen, where this is a spot where they always perform well, and do they fall apart? Does the reverse, does everything get all mixed up and turn sideways? That's the thing I wonder about. Since last week went so well, they were not caught sleepwalking. They were completely focused from the start on taking care of Arkansas State. Is this the week where things go against the trend for them? Because they went against the trend last week to a certain extent.
Hopefully not. I think one of the intriguing parts of this game, and Devin Bale was listed as probable last night in the latest injury report, with this being such a tight, close matchup the last few years, is special teams is going to play. You got a true freshman kicker that's never kicked in an opposing SEC venue, much less an away venue before. Didn't kick last week, so he's a little rusty. And Devin Bale's list is probable. So, but let's say something happens, he can't go. You would have a true freshman kicker and a backup holder. In their first SEC road game of the year. That doesn't always lead to execution. I'm not willing or wishing anything bad to happen. I'm just kind of connected the dots. Hopefully that's not.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have run out of our time here for Arkansas Game Day here on ESPN Arkansas. Thank you to the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Thank you to the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery for their support making this show possible. You heard Ty, Matt Jones, Christian will be on following tonight's action with our Hog Reaction Show, and we hope you'll join us then. Hope you'll join us all day long and keep listening as the pregame coverage from Learfield is coming right up next here on ESPN Arkansas. Enjoy your game day, everyone.